This episode is brought to you by Sir Charles Hard Cider, which is proudly brewed in Philadelphia by Original 13 Cider Works. Visit their tasting room on American Street to enjoy their cider, as well as locally sourced food from their kitchen. Look for Sir Charles Hard Cider in local establishments and visit sircharlescider.com for more information.
Hey guys, guess what?
What?
I have a drink in my lap. Like, I don't know why. Why was that there?
It's like you were going to the movies and you just pulled out a treat.
You know, the last time I went to the movies, so the second to last time I went to the movies, it was freezing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The next time I went to the movies, which was the next day, I was like, oh, I'm not going to be cold. So I brought a blanket. And I brought coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. Do you know?
Aunt Rhythm.
Look, the security guard came right up to me right before the movie started and was like, ma'am, she ma'amed me, ma'am, I'm going to need you to throw out. We don't do outside food. I was like, how sad is your life, sis?
Right, bitch. Like you ain't got shit else to do.
You ain't got nothing else going on in your life.
Do they sell coffee at the theater?
Exactly my point.
If you don't sell coffee, then what's the issue?
And that was one of the many moments in my life. I feel like I was just saying this to Miriam earlier, where I was very tempted to be like, I have lupus. So I just have this fantasy in my head of like making people uncomfortable.
Do it. I do it all the time.
And so I usually want to do it with fibromyalgia, but most people don't know what fibromyalgia is or like understand it. But people know lupus. They still don't necessarily understand what it means, but they feel like uncomfortable that they've made you uncomfortable. Yeah. So I like to just like say that to people. I did do it on Bolt once. They were like making me wait in line for a really long time outside and my legs were hurting. And I was like, I have lupus. And they were like, oh, we got to get her to a seat. Like people just get uncomfortable and start like
rhythm.
I know, but I don't feel bad because I legitimately have like a condition and like I need you to like take heed, but like they don't because they don't know what it means.
So you use a condition that's like wider known.
You have to use something that's like, recognizable.
That's like me being like when I have cramps, that's like me being like, I have cancer. Like that's like what the fuck? But really I just have fucking period cramps.
You know what that makes me think of? There was one time, so I rarely go out the house without eyebrows, but one time when my hair was still shaved.
Your eyebrows look great right now, by the way. Like I know that our listeners can't see, but you're doing amazing.
Thank you. I went outside with, my hair was like shaved. No eyebrows, no makeup. And at the time, my wrist was, so sometimes I wear like wrist braces. My wrist was bothering me. I had on a wrist brace. And so I went into this like store and shit. This man was so nice to me. He was so accommodating. He was like getting me stuff and like just being really, and it was like weird because I was like, I knew he wasn't flirting, but I'm like, why is he being so accommodating? And it was like, I got back and I finished the whole transaction, got back in my car, looked at myself in the mirror, and I was like, he thinks I have cancer.
You look like a patient.
Oh shit, looking like a whole full moon out.
He was so nice, and I was like, oh, that's why I guess now that I have hair, I might be more likely to go out without eyebrows. Probably not. But that was the last time I went out bald with no eyebrows because I was like, oh, he thought I was sick. It was sweet.
Yikes.
Anyway, this is 3 Black Femmes.
This is our like super happy like Christmas episode.
It's Christmas.
Happy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Yes.
Merry Christmas.
Or the one that we celebrate, like most readily, like Happy Homosexual Season.
I'm not celebrating that ever again.
I'm just drinking.
You're a better bitch than me. Hey.
I did it once. Anyway, I'm Rhythm Keen.
Oh, I'm Darryl.
I'm Miriam, or Who Dyke Jones.
Yeah.
That one's so corny and it's my favorite because it's so corny.
It's so great.
And it's like 10 years outdated.
It's great though. You're doing great.
That's the epitome.
You're doing amazing.
But welcome to 3 Black Femmes, a show where I forget the call, the call line.
Our like tagline.
Yes,
we
something about edges.
What I tell niggas when they ask, like, because somebody at the John just asked, like, what's your podcast about? And I should be like, it's about healing and hoe shit. And like that's just what the fuck I know.
Like, that really is.
What else is there?
Yeah, that's what the fuck it is. Like the things that sustain me, healing and hoe shit.
That's beautiful.
Ooh. And I've been drinking a lot of rum.
What are we drinking? What's the drink of the day?
This is a spiked cider. So this is a beautiful apple cider. It's a local apple cider. And Kraken rum, because that's how we get it cracking.
With Kraken. We're corny as shit today.
We are.
Hey.
I was about to be really corny and try to rename it.
Rename it.
I don't know if I'm allowed to rename it what I want to rename it.
Reclamation.
There
As a
rules?
black femme, honestly, you have to.
Reclaiming my time.
Yeah, but it's like a queer word, and I only have like quarter citizenship.
If you say it, we'll co-sign it.
You're
and
a black
us,
woman.
the queers, will.
I was thinking diked cider.
Ooh, dyke cider.
Yes, dyke cider.
Yes, dyke cider.
Oh my God, look at your glass.
One.
It's adventure time.
It is. Ah!
Whenever I'm with dykes, it's always adventure time.
Dyke cider. Dyke cider.
Yes, dyked cider.
I thought it was great. Sorry.
No one can see, but I'm dancing.
And so here we are.
You are raising the roof,
Because
a
I'm 3
la
cups into the dyked cider.
2017 like white infomercial.
Yes.
For real.
So this is our last episode of 2017.
Is it though?
Is it? Actually, why am I saying that?
Because like we don't know if it is.
We don't know.
The thing is, we're dragging 2017 in this episode, but we might come back at
We
y'all
might. You don't know.
with some shit.
Who knows?
Who knows when we gonna come at you? TBH. Like 3 Black Femmes is like your ex that like will you sort of
already
resent
feel
for
scalped.
ghosting you, but like when they hit you up, you be like, "Ooh, Zeddy,
Right.
I'm coming for that dick right now."
Let me jump in the shower right quick.
I'll be right back. I do not appreciate this conversation.
I am suddenly
Meanwhile-
dragged.
You're only leaving to go get some ex dick. So like,
I mean-
3 Black Femmes is that ex.
Shout out to my ex, who I am going to get dick down by later.
Yes.
I'm proud of you, bitch.
Thank you.
I'm proud
beautiful
of
thing.
everyone. Get some good
I
dick.
want to say this though. One thing I do love about this fucking dumpster fucking fire of a goddamn year is the fact that I more than ever have recognized the need to stop asking for permission to be happy.
Look.
Yes.
And that sounds like an Oprah Winfrey episode, but no, really.
It's real.
Like
Really?
all the big and small ways that we ask permission to be happy and guard ourselves against the possibility of being happy because we feel like something may happen, like a calamity. But in 32 years on this planet, I've learned that calamities find you because that's what they do.
Look.
Yeah.
So you take your happiness and you explain it to only yourself and your Jesus.
Absolutely.
And you
Amen.
keep moving. If you ain't hurting nobody's feelings,
That would be my unsolicited advice to everyone under the age of having figured that out.
Okay.
Like,
Thanks.
don't wait, because I feel like it took me 30-something years to figure that out, and it shouldn't have. Like, figure that out sooner.
I'm trying,
Like-
sis.
Stop asking permission. Stop thinking about, like, literally, if you're not harming other people,
do you?
do you. Like, do what
trying,
makes you
sis.
happy.
And then fuck people's questions because ain't nobody
and also
got the
fuck
rules
people.
to this. And more importantly, nobody knows the secret formula to happiness.
Right.
It's about what's for you, how your energies flow.
You know what someone said to me years ago? And I get it more now because I'm probably at the age she was when she said it. But we were talking about like overcommitting yourself to like things and events and people and like showing up. And I was like, I just feel bad. People ask me for stuff and I say yes and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, well, when I don't want to do something, I say I'm not available for that. And she was like, that's not a lie. And it's not to say that like I'm doing something else with my time. She was like, it takes you out of making an excuse. Like, I can't come to that because I have my niece's party. What you're saying is I'm not available
I'm
for
not
that.
available for that.
I like that.
Period.
I like that.
I don't have to give you an explanation.
I like that a lot.
I don't have to worry about hiding on Facebook what I'm doing.
And it doesn't bring up the no anxieties because sometimes
Right.
I have strong no anxieties where it's like I know I don't want to do something, so I'll give you something that's not a no because no's feel for some reason bad or
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
and like harsh.
Yeah, let's talk about how we're all socialized to believe that shit.
Right.
But so I get into that space where I'm afraid of saying no, but then what eventually happens is that I'll flake because I don't want to do it.
Right.
So I love that. I'm just not available.
I'm not
for that.
available for that.
I like that.
That's my new
Speaking
thing.
of reclaiming one's joy. I think this is a segue.
That's pretty good.
Right?
You're so good.
I'm with the shits. To our Black Joy of the
Black joy
episode.
of the episode.
Hey!
Nice transition.
Ooh, I got a good one.
Ooh, Zaddy, you want to start?
Oh,
I'll start.
there you go. Thank you.
Yes. Mine is just pretty basic. I have two. Well, My black joy of the episode is music.
Yay.
2 new projects. One is Miguel's, I'm forgetting the name of it in this moment. Miguel has a new album. And for me, it feels like the most, I always hate saying this because like, who knows like what's authentic to Miguel? Like we're not homies. But it just feels like what I want to hear from Miguel. Here it is. War and Leisure.
Yes.
It's just dope. It's like sort of poppy, sort of chill. There's like some elements that definitely are like a nod to Prince. But like not in like a way that he doesn't pull off.
Yeah.
It's just dope. It's a good listen. I really enjoy it. And the other is T-Pain's new album.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
So
yeah, no, there's been some growth. Go ahead.
Wait a minute.
I say this as a former T-Pain hater. And I was a proud hater.
I didn't know this nigga had an album.
He has a new album. So he's still doing like a little bit of the like effect thing, but a lot less of it and more of just his natural singing voice.
Oh shit.
So the project is called Oblivion. It's good and ratchet. Like, don't listen to it around your mom unless you listen to ratchet music with your mom.
I do. She taught me the ratchet music first.
Yeah, no, my mom would be like appalled. My mom is the kind of woman who still believes that like maybe you can listen to ratchet music, but you have to listen to it like in private and like don't tell people you listen to it. That's where I get that. Like, I'm like a little bit like I am like the conservative one on the show.
In which circle?
Is that how that works?
Oh,
I am.
Honestly, I feel like if we took a listener poll, it's not the truth.
I bet they would agree with me. I don't even say the D word.
What?
Or the P word.
What? Really?
I don't.
I feel
but that's the thing. Nobody notices.
It took me a long time to realize what the P word was. I'm like, P word.
Daryl's like, I don't know her.
Like, we just but that's the D word. What
I only say those words like if I'm naked. I don't curse. But like these are things that people don't notice because I'm like generally pretty ratchet. Yeah. But like I'm like conservative ratchet.
Pretty ratchet, friend.
Yeah, it's sneaky. Anyway, this album is like super ratchet. But like great, it's just great quality music. I don't know why. I'm just no longer annoyed by him, and I'm like, oh, I'm here for this.
I'm with the shits.
I am almost a fan.
I'm with
those 2 albums are my black joy of the episode. They're like on repeat.
I really love that Miguel song, like because it samples
which one?
The single from War and Leisure, the dun 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 ba 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 da. We're not gonna play it because they're not paying
Skywalker.
us.
Yes. They're not paying us. I like that one because he says something like, I know she vegan, but she wants the steak tonight. And I'm like, I do want the steak tonight.
You felt seen.
How do you know me?
You felt seen. Representation matters.
It does.
Honestly.
Yes.
I like it because he says quick to dead the bull like a matador, and I love puns.
Yes, you do. You do.
I'd be like leaving work like quick to dead the bull like a matador. Walking down Girard Avenue.
Oh yes, bless the people. That's a blessing.
Can I share my black joy of the episode?
Please.
This is also music related.
Oh yes.
And I feel like we're always fucking like with each other, like on point with that. Like whenever at least 2 of us always have like a very similar black joy in the episode, and I fuck with it. So
I'm glad to be included in that because usually it's not me.
I'm pulling the rhythm today.
Watch Darryl gonna be like, my black joy is dick with icing on it. Like it's gonna be something way
everybody like that's not.
That's a black ass joy.
I provide the icing.
Wait a minute. Icing the strap 2018 concepts. Please a fat bitch today.
Yeah. Oh! That needs to be the name of something.
Of the episode?
Something. Yes.
Please a fat bitch today.
Yes.
There you go.
Amen.
Write that down, Mark.
You got that, Mark?
You got that.
Hey.
Shout out to Spaces Productions. So your black joy of the episode.
Okay, so it's similar. Okay. So at the Mixer, at the live podcast, also shout out to you if you came to the Spaces Mixer and you saw us podcasting live. Shout the fuck out, okay? Yes. Come through and fuck with the kids. Anyway, but yeah, at the live podcast, my black joy was the fact that I saw Janet. And my black joy this time is also that I saw somebody. I saw Rico Nasty live last night.
Yes, y'all. I saw that. You were cute.
I was cute. Yes. I was really fucking cute.
You were.
Because I love her.
And you bought her Taco Bell.
I bought her Taco Bell. That's my black joy. Okay.
I saw that. Sorry.
So,
Spoiler alert.
It's okay. No, it's okay. So I get really giddy when I talk about her because like I have a girl crush on her, and like I don't say girl crush lightly because like I'm a fucking dyke. I have crushes, you know. But like I legitimately have a girl crush
like
on her. Where I'm just
girl.
like I like be my fucking friend and maybe slap me once,
one time
a week,
choke me a little,
choke me a little
on the side.
These are all foreign concepts. My neck is still repairing.
Friendship. What's that? Some platonic, asphyxiation. Anyway.
I'm afraid. I do have a genuine fear because I don't practice like safe word usage probably safely. I have a fear that I'm gonna have a broken collarbone one day.
No. Oh.
Well, you're going to learn a lesson that makes you use a safe word. Mine is Cadillac. I earned Cadillac.
Yes, Cadillac. I used to drive a Cadillac. I feel like I'm good at like repositioning like the the heel
Cadillac
of your hand so that it's not like on your collarbone.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'm just like, let's take a chance.
Also, let's bring our collective safe word back. Amy Schumer. Let's bring that back.
Let's remind the audience.
Our collective safe word here at Three Black Femmes is Amy Schumer.
Because that will shut down.
Instant placidity.
Yes, instant placidity.
We got off track.
Taco Bell girl crush.
Right. Taco Bell girl crush. So yeah, one of her aliases is Taco Bella. Yes. So I hit her up on Twitter a couple of like weeks ago and I was like, hey, for the Philly show, do you actually like Taco Bell? Because I'll bring you some. Like, I'm not fucking playing. Like, I want to be your fucking friend. And she was like, LOL, I eat the Cinemelts. Maybe the fuck she thought I was joking, but the Aries in me is never joking. Yes. I'm always fucking serious.
Let them know.
If I make plans with you, bitch, I mean it.
I hope you can feel that she chopping the air right now.
I'm really chopping the air, bitch. So yeah. So I went and I got her some fucking Cinemelts. And first of all, we roll up to the bitch and it's like, I forgot that Rico Nasty's only fucking 20 years old. And I'm an old head at this point. Can fucking compare.
That's young even for me.
The fucking, they were all 17. The fucking audience.
Wait, where was this at?
This was at the Trocadero.
Oh my God. I had that experience. Back in the spring, I went to see Saba. I was clearly the only 30-something, but I feel like everybody else was like 19 to 23.
Yeah.
That was a clear.
All babies.
Yeah.
All babies.
I don't know why when you said that, I instantly was like, that was at the Troc.
Yeah. It was.
The Saba show was at the Troc balcony.
It was the Troc balcony I was at last night.
So real.
So like they were all 17-year-olds and shit, whatever, and like, they turned the fuck up like to her music because how could you not? And at one point I had the fucking Taco Bell in my bag because I snuck it in because they were like no outside food, so I fucking tucked it in.
Yes.
Because both of my parents are felons. I had to inherit something.
That's right.
So I tapped my bitch who I was with and I was like, because usually I'm the loud bitch and she's the shy bitch. And I was like, I have to give her the Taco Bell, but I'm suddenly really nervous because I have a girl crush on her. And my bitch, who's typically the shy bitch, came through for me and she yelled through the crowd. She was like, bitch, you want your Taco Bell?
Yes.
Stop the show. And she was like, what? And I was like, I got you Cineballs. And she was like, she looked like she was about to cry. And she was like, this is the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me.
God.
And she fucking ate the Cinemelts while she performed Poppin'.
That's so lit.
Yeah, so I have a girl crush on a 20-year-old.
I mean, there's that. But, I mean, at least you're like not me with a girl crush on a 20-year-old because I feel like that's a very different thing.
It's a different thing.
But I feel like when we post this, we should tag her. Also, for any of our like regular listeners, this is like full circle from Black Joy of the episode a couple of episodes ago. Because your Black Joy one episode wasn't it the song Poppin'?
Yeah, it was the song Poppin'. It's full fucking circle.
That's so lit.
Yeah, so Rico Nasty ate my Cinemelts while she performed Poppin'. So like,
and it's not a euphemism.
It's not even a euphemism this time.
Darryl,
what is good? I have a couple of Black Joys. The first one is Coquito.
Yes.
I know that it's like not just a Puerto Rican dish, but I'm from Philadelphia, so all Latinos are Puerto Rican. Don't care, drag me. I don't get it.
It's actually the same thing in South Carolina.
There you go. My nerves.
It was like not until adulthood that I realized that most of the Puerto Ricans that I knew growing up were not Puerto Rican, but they just kind of went with Puerto Rican because like y'all are dumb and you're not going to acknowledge all of these. They were just like, actually, I've been Colombian this whole time.
If you want to drag the podcast, then email us for the discourse. Honestly, we're open to discourse.
Yes, but Cojito, that's number one. Think
Coquito isn't Puerto Rican though, right?
My Puerto Rican friends and family make it.
I thought Coquito was Dominican.
Again, I'm from Philadelphia.
It's Puerto Rican.
It's Puerto Rican.
Yeah. In Philly, it's Puerto Rican. It's fine.
It's
really
fine.
Is. Everything's fine.
You're doing great.
You're doing great.
And then the second is I had lunch this week with one of my aunts. I also recognize that you say aunt rhythm and I say aunt.
I do say aunt.
Yeah.
Is that a country thing?
I don't think so. I think it's split everywhere. Yeah,
I find myself actually going back and forth though. But I had.
You know what's funny about that? I say aunt, but I say auntie.
Ooh. Yeah, because auntie sounds dumb.
Yeah, auntie's weird.
Auntie sounds kind of racist.
Well, it also sounds like Rihanna's album. Yeah. Shout out to Rihanna.
I love you.
And I had lunch with my aunt and her. I want to say soulmate because they're too old to listen anyway. He's married and is a dandy.
Yes,
but he's a heterosexual man, and they're soulmates. I don't know if they recognize the fact that they're soulmates, but they have been in each other's lives for like ever. And they pick on each other like brother and sister / like husband. Like when people are together for so long and like they just have this kind of like almost like non-denominational relationship, you could just tell that they just grew around each other. That's them. And it was meaningful because this is one of my mother's sisters. My mother died a couple of months ago. And for me, generally, I don't remember most of my childhood because of, #abuse. But when I get opportunities to remember or when people tell me the things, like, it's definitely like one of those, like, I turn into a 4-year-old and my eyes get really, really big. And I'm like, really? And this happened? And so we had lunch and I don't think she was prepared to like go into her vault of memories of her life. But like, that's all we talked about. She looks just like my mom.
Wow.
And just like my grandmother. They have these really, really high cheekbones. So the moment I see her, I'm automatically like, Mom. And she literally was just telling me stories about just like, she was among the first class of Black employees to work for the city government in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I had to pause and I was like, yeah, they only started hiring Black people like 50 years ago.
Wow.
She was telling me about just that experience, telling me about like being the first Black family on this block full of Jewish folk in North Philly before white flight, and how my grandma worked in a button factory. My grandfather was a chauffeur, and my grandmother also was not a maid, essentially a maid. But it was amazing, and I didn't have to pay for lunch.
Yes,
I didn't.
Yes.
So I sat there and ate pasta and salad, and got a full size adult drink,
Yes.
and didn't have to pay for any of it, and then got all these stories about like, the upbringing.
that's beautiful.
It is. That was my Black joy.
That's a beautiful Black joy. I was actually like super triggered the first time. So my dad's family, my dad's from Virginia. And I grew up in South Carolina, so I didn't spend a lot of time around my dad's family. And so a lot of them, like I met them when I was young, but didn't remember. And so when I saw them when he passed away, for me, a lot of them, it was like I have a memory of this person, but I could not have told you which person was this person.
Yeah.
It was actually super triggering for me to see my dad's brother for the first time in my memory.
I could imagine.
And have him look just like my dad.
I could imagine.
Like I lost it.
Yeah.
Like literally,
I could imagine.
I was like the person who had to handle a lot of the business for my dad's like funeral and like all of his arrangements. And so I was just like in go mode.
Yeah.
And the moment that his brother walked in, I was like,
you got like it
like I knew who he was.
Yeah.
Like he walked in the room and I was like, that's my dad's brother. I'm going to die now. Like they have the same face. And I was just like, oh my God. But it's good that was like comforting for you and not like
triggering.
Yeah.
That's real.
Because for me, that was trigger. I was like, oh, it's time to cry now.
Well, especially because you were, and I don't know if this is the situation for you. However, especially in like grief and stuff like that, we automatically assume our comfortable roles, especially the roles that we got when we were kids. So when my mother died, my older sister became mom because she was our mom for all intents and purposes. And I don't know what role I actually feel. Like I'm a middle child. I'm one of the middle children. So I have middle child syndrome like down. So I never feel like I'm seen anyway in my family. But everyone's like, you're such the glue. And I'm like, glue to what, girl? Like my hinges are showing. But like my sister became the business person, became the one who was like, okay, this is what we need to do, A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
And so I imagine for you, the moment that you saw him you actually like that cues your body to start like to actually mourn, like to break through the covering that like the busy work kind of does. Yeah,
because when I found out that he passed, I found out like late afternoon on a Sunday, and I had like the rest of that Sunday to like do whatever mourning you can possibly do when immediately finding out somebody passed. And then Monday morning, like I was admin. Here's all the things that you need to do. I was the person who had to tell everybody that my dad died. So I was definitely in like work mode. And it wasn't until and it was so sweet. My uncle was like, I'm sorry, baby. Nothing you can do. You just have his face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for bursting into tears when I saw your face. And it's comforting now. But like in that moment, for somebody that I didn't know and wasn't raised around, I was just like, oh my God. Why do you have his face?
Yep.
But anyway.
At any rate.
Leave it to me to turn Black Joy into like, this is sad.
What's the new byline? It's healing and hoeing.
Memory too is Black Joy. You know, like the fact that we like still have our memory.
Say that again, please.
You like memory is Black Joy.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
It is. That's a word.
That felt that to my marrow. That's real. That's real. I think that resonates with me because I know growing up I was an avid journaler. And one thing that I taught myself growing up was like I grew up in a very, very abusive environment. And it wasn't until I got older that I recognized that my parents gave me the kind of love that they themselves were taught. So so it's not about the accountability, but it's about how abuse translates through the DNA across generations and how like that shit is real.
Absolutely.
But one thing that's really real is the way that we cope and have defense mechanisms and the way that motherfuckers gaslight a motherfucker. So I became an avid journaler as a kid because I was like, I know this happened. I know this happened. I'm going to write this down and one day I'm going to remember this because I know it happens. And so and then in addition to the gaslighting, your own body has a way to not want to remember.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And so your mind is supposed to make you forget because it does not want the bad things.
Exactly. So that like Black Joy being memory, like Black Joy being able to say, like, this is something that I know that happened. Yes. And then also the Sankofa that comes along with it, right? So it's like the moments that I do remember, especially now at 32, I take as a blessing because it's like, these are parts of you, Darryl. This is a part of who the hell you were. You picked yourself up off this goddamn floor. You picked yourself up off of these things and you gained so much from it. So I don't know, that's the word. That is memory is real.
And like, especially, well, you just said it, but like what trauma does to your memory to be able to like look back and say like with an irrefutable fact, this thing happened and I experienced this thing. Like I wasn't making it up. I was not being dramatic. This happened. Like, listen, motherfucker, the moment I can take and pinpoint a feeling that I felt and then like not blame myself and say that I made it up, that's Black Joy.
That is Black Joy.
Okay.
That is Black Joy.
The moment a bitch can say this happened and it was a valid reaction to this thing and I can point to this.
Tell me about it.
And I survived this.
And, and there was an other side to it.
Yes.
Come through other side. Listen to this.
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm on the other side and my brows are together.
Hell yes. Except for the day where you like a patient. But
I mean, other than that, it's fine. You have your days. It's fine.
That's real.
And here we are.
Some days were beautiful brown cage-free eggs.
You know?
Man.
Don't get me started on that.
You love all your parts.
You have to.
You gotta.
You definitely got to, because so many people are so invested in teaching you that your parts are fucked up.
Except for my corns. I'm indifferent.
Nope. You gotta love all your parts.
I'm indifferent toward my corns. I ain't gonna hold you.
I mean, that's fair.
You know, they're like a little inconvenient. And then like also rough. Like.
I remember when we were talking.
I got my father's feet.
Look.
It looks like I run a lot.
I have my mother's feet, but I have like one each of my father's toe. Which I feel like is rude. I feel like it was like his little petty way of being like, I'm still here though. I'm like, these are my mom's feet. But this one toe. Yeah.
These is working toes.
Look,
I'm still here though.
My father is that kind of petty though. Like, and it's funny because the joy that I get now, because it's been 9 years since he passed. Is that right? What year is this? 2017. 8 years. It's been 8 years since he passed. But the joy that I get is out of the petty kinds of things that I know that he would find funny. Like, I know he would think it's funny that one toe on each foot is his toe.
So, yeah.
I'm just like, this is not cute. Why would you torture me in this way? But there's joy in that, because that would be funny to him. That is his petty contribution to the rest of my life. I have this one toe. I think I would almost take a corn over this. So I should be specific. This toe on each, it's the second to last toe on each foot. And it's like crooked.
So that's like the ring finger of the toes.
Yes, it's my toe ring finger toe. It's my ring toe. And it's like bowed. It's like a bow-legged toe on each foot. I would almost take a corn over that. Yeah, it's not cute.
Baby toe.
Yeah, it is crooked. It's fine.
It's quirky. It's quirky.
It is quirky. I have quirky toes.
Better than having crooked dicks.
Speak on it.
Well, it depends. It depends on the kind of crook.
I mean,
it depends on the kind of crook.
Better than a crook with a good
Stop.
Better than a what?
But I said better than a crook with some good dick.
I mean,
Speaking
what? I'm awake.
Speaking of,
we're gonna drag my exes.
So things to read in 2017.
Segue. There you
That
go.
was a segue.
Wow, bitch, we are segueing
winning.
today. Bitch, we are some fucking
On it.
seguists
On it.
today.
We are seguists.
We are seguists.
Professional seguists.
Reference to episode 4.
Yo.
I mean,
you said that so cleanly. I would have been like, Segway-is.
We are
Seguists.
seguists today, bitch.
so our topic for today.
Okay.
What is it? Things that we are.
I think it was like the 2017 end of year trash dump.
Trash
Yes.
dump.
Things that we're throwing the fuck away
Forever.
in 2017.
So if you're
bitch.
listening, you're on call right now.
Yes.
Amen. So
Here we go.
Start?
okay, we can go ahead and get started with the list. And I want to make this interactive. I want to put a call out there, because I'm a teacher now. I'm into interactive shit, right? So like,
You're probably the best teacher.
I know. I would love to be.
we can talk about it off
love to
air.
have you as a teacher.
Oh my god, nigga, same. My students don't feel the same way. We can talk about it off air.
Because you're like, but also you have to do this work.
Right. And they're just like, oh my god, I Miss Blank, you can't do that. I'm just like, no, go.
But about your assignment.
Right. It's because I'm mean, but I'm also warm.
That's actually why I enjoy my role at my job, because there are students, but I'm not responsible for them. So once again, this is like my favorite role ever. So like this organization that I used to like loosely mentor for, I wasn't actually affiliated with the organization. I was more of just like fun auntie, show up, tell you did a good job, give you a hug. And I feel like that's what I'm fulfilling in this current role also. Like there are students, but they're not my students. And so like I run into them in their in the hallway and they're like, oh my God, look at your brows and your outfit. Give me advice. And I'm like, okay. And then I go back to my actual job and I'm like, this is actually everything that I need.
See, the thing is,
I'm not responsible for your grade. I'm going to give you encouragement and tell you you're doing great. And that your hair looks good today, and I'm gonna go back to my job.
It's because you're an auntie, and like you're a professional auntie.
I really am.
I'm a professional mom because I'm just like, I'm gonna fucking yell at you, but we're gonna have one moment per week where it's really warm.
Here's the quota.
This is it. This is gonna be a warm moment between the two of us. You're going to sweep my classroom because I'm bribing you. And then I'll give you 2 pieces of candy, and you'll feel so grateful for these mini Hershey's.
Yes. That's a beautiful thing.
And this Jolly Rancher, okay? Like, So, things to throw away in 2017. Shall we just get into the list? And I also, I feel like we can just ping pong it.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
And since you threw out the first one, Darryl, I think that this is an important note to start on. Shout it out. The first thing we're getting rid of.
Weed is not foreplay.
Amen.
Weed is not foreplay.
I mean,
No. I need to make this completely clear. Underline, highlight, exclamation points, asterisks, fine print, footnotes even.
Weed alone.
Weed alone
is not foreplay.
Weed can be a part of it.
I will agree with that.
Weed should be a part of it.
But it's not like weed and then just start strapping. Like,
no.
I will agree with that.
Like it's a like don't get me wrong. Make me get me fucked up. I'm fine with that. Give me some weed. Go over here. Give me some weed. Like give me some drink. I'm fine with all of that. But if it's weed, drink, let's go to your bedroom. Nigga, what?
Right.
Like,
but you know what's real though? So I'm triggered by that because
you went to the bedroom yesterday.
I mean, no.
Post-weed?
No. But I had an ex where we reached a point where I don't think we were realizing it in that moment, but basically the only thing that we had was sex. And
I know that feeling when
right.
yeah.
And we disliked each other so much as people.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know that.
That it required weed.
Ooh.
So weed wasn't foreplay as much as it was like prerequisite. Like we need to do this to get to.
Did the fact that you two didn't like each other translate to better sex? Like, did you have bomb sex?
Oh, we had amazing sex, but I don't think it was because we didn't like each other.
Okay.
It was just amazing sex.
It was just amazing sex.
Y'all were together because of the amazing sex.
Yes. And I don't think I realized pretty early on that he didn't like me. I think if you asked him today, he would still deny that he didn't like me as a person. Like, you don't like me.
He's a Virgo.
No, I'm a Virgo. He was.
That is some Virgo antics.
That's some Virgo ass shit.
Yeah, it is.
Aquarius?
Oh, that's also
this is where you fucked up.
Yeah, Aquarians will do that shit.
And I don't care if you're listening, Beefy. Don't care. Don't care.
Shit.
Don't care.
We calling out names.
Yes.
But I'll say Beefy. Aquariuses are dope. My mama's an Aquarius, but also Aquariuses are
Trash.
First of all, here's why I fucking love Aquarians.
And this is what we need to also have, a fucking drag of the signs. Go
Yes.
ahead.
We do need to drag the signs, but I feel like I'm going to get ganged up on, so.
Oh yeah, you will, because fire signs are trash.
Fuck you, okay? Damn it. God fucking damn it. There will be no fire sign
As I told
slander in this
Lauren earlier,
motherfucker.
I say that, but everyone that I tend to form relationships with are freaking fire signs.
Because
Leo,
we're fucking bomb. Because Aries sex is bomb.
Yes.
Leo sex is, it keeps happening to me, so I guess it's good. I keep fucking Leos.
I keep signing up for it.
I keep fucking Leo.
Right.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how it happens. Anyway, there will be no dragging of the fire signs. God motherfucking damn. Because somebody's got to say what the rest of you fuckers are thinking. Someone's got to do it.
So,
Okay.
I mean,
and that's a fire sign responsibility.
Yeah, the fuck it is. Because the rest of y'all niggas be quiet and shady and little side eye and listen, bitch. Someone's got to take action.
Speaking as a Taurus, I've never had that situation.
Oh,
Don't know her.
You're a Taurus.
Don't know her.
That's because you're a fucking
never seen her.
Taurus is an earth sign?
Yes, we are the Earth sign, really.
I mean, wait a
Taurus
minute.
is the fiery earth sign, though.
Because I'm a Virgo, so let's settle down.
Oh, we have the whole family here.
Oh, do we have the whole family?
Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus.
Ah, look at that.
Look at you fuckers.
I will offer this. Having sex with a Leo
Is bomb.
is the best.
It changes your goddamn life.
The best
Oh my
sex
It
in
changes your
God.
fucking life.
My life is
It
changed.
changes your life.
Oh my God, Leo
They have
sex.
egos.
My
and
life
their-
is different.
Their
You know what
egos
is-
fuck
you know
you
what the
up.
fuck
it is?
You know what?
Because
That is symbolic of my life right now. My headphones just
How that
fell
Leo
apart.
dick will fucking break you apart.
Oh my God, they like actually broke.
I want to direct our attention to the producer who is mortified.
Oh, yeah.
Who is shook right now.
I just want to say shout out to Spaces Productions working conditions.
yes, Spaces
Where your
Productions.
headphones just like fall apart.
But y'all got duct tape though.
It's fine. I'm just gonna like hold this one piece. This like the
That is a metaphor
the
of my
shambles
spiritual
of these
situation of
headphones.
2017.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what it was? It was your ancestors telling you not to take Leo dick again.
Yes. But you gotta silence them.
Look,
You gotta silence
you
them.
silenced them ancestors because
That's why your headphones broke because you're not listening.
I know.
I don't care.
I'm not going
Leo
to. It has
dick
changed my
will
world.
change your life.
Listen.
Fire sign sex will change
Thank you.
your life.
Thank you. I be trying to
I
tell
am-
you, okay? Niggas want to hate on fire signs. Listen, somebody got to fuck
excuse
you,
me.
right?
Fire
I
signs are
mean-
trash. However, fire signs will change your life.
And we get away with it because we got that good.
How do we get down this path? What were we actually
It
talking
always
about?
comes back to sex. That's what this podcast is. I don't know why we front under some other
Like it's
shit.
anything
We're
else.
just here to fucking talk about
The
our
healing
fucking
part
sex
is
lives.
like all a lie.
Like 1% healing, 99% hoeing.
Here we are.
Yeah, here we
No,
are.
I don't even remember.
Anyway, weed's not foreplay. Where else? Where do we go?
Oh, that's where we were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Weed's not.
And then
So that's why it's
alone,
triggering
by
for me.
itself.
Yeah, by itself. Yeah.
Yeah. And mostly because, and you know what it is though? I think I don't know if this is completely accurate, but I do think there's something to the fact that guys undervalue foreplay anyway.
Yes.
And so in gay relationships, it's not that, so I've had the best foreplay in gay relationships actually when I was messing with other bottoms. But that's also because when you're a bottom and you're messing with a bottom, all you really want is foreplay.
Yeah. Talk about it.
But don't get me wrong, I flooded basements with foreplay.
Yes, flooded basement.
I flooded basements. And double-sided dildos work just as well.
There's that.
There we go.
Clap.
That actually is too much work for me.
No. Well, you know what?
I just want to be very clear about who I am, especially mid-30s. Like,
reclaim all of that.
all of it. I'm just gonna I'm not contributing anything unless I'm just trying to be cute real quick, show you that I got this cute little perkiness. And then I'm going back to my actual
Reclaim
role.
your pillow.
Yeah.
Reclaim your pillow rhythm. Go off.
Look,
I will expend my
pillow
leg
wears a
energy
crown.
once every couple months to let you know
yes,
what
once
I
every,
am.
I just need to remind you.
Yeah.
I can do this.
Yes. I choose
not to.
not to. Especially if I'm cooking and cleaning and shit sometimes too. It's
Okay.
like, if I'm putting all this other work in, guess what you're going to do?
If I'm doing
You're
emotional
going to
labor,
your back.
if I'm doing any emotional labor, you gonna eat this pussy and I'm gonna leave.
And I'm gonna leave.
Okay, all
My
right.
mom's not listening to this.
Thank God my mom can't afford a computer. Am I right?
You know what? Sis.
I learned it from my mama.
Anyway, next on our list.
I'm serious. My mom had every one of her men at her funeral. I'm not lying.
That's beautiful.
Every one of her men. My sisters looked up and they were like, you know, all her niggas here?
That's what I
and
want.
I turned around looking into the church. Every single one of her niggas
Goals.
was sitting
I
right
want.
there.
Goals. I want all of my
And they
fucking
were all
niggas
jockeying
playing
to claim the title of that nigga.
as they
All right, so look.
should.
Spoiler alert, if you have not finished
Do it.
Spike Lee
She's
Gotta
Gotta
Have It, the series. But spoiler alert. So I'm not pulling like the Thanksgiving stunt because that was a stunt. However,
Oh, I've done that.
at my funeral, I do. Like if I'm not married, even if I am married, like I feel like I've left all of my relationships and situationships in a positive enough state. Not all of them.
Can't
the
relate.
majority of them. The majority. Where I want you all at my funeral.
Wow, can't relate.
Saying nice things about me and just hoping that somebody recognizes you.
That's the campfire rule. I learned that from one of my older friends, one of my older best friends, Mark. And that's one of the best things he taught me about like relations is that you like ideally you want to leave a situation a little bit better than you found it.
Yes.
So like if you're camping, you have a campsite and you're disturbing nature, you want to leave the campsite a little bit better than you found it. So not neutrality. Neutrality is for suckers. You want a net positive. And so I strive for the same thing. Do I deliver? Probably not, because I'm a nigga. But my goal, though, really, though, my goal is to be able to leave each situation, to leave each guy a little bit better than I found them.
Right.
And you know what? That type of shit gets you fucked up.
My name is Darryl Watson, and I am fucked up.
Listen, that's that shit that I think I gave up on that shit on like leaving niggas better than I found them because I used to like show up for motherfuckers, do hella motherfucking emotional labor, and then I leave in fucking shambles.
You know what?
Which is
Fuck Mark.
also
I'm with you.
yes,
I'm with you.
Yes, thank you. Like this is also on
Because
my
it's too
list of
convenient,
shit to
too, 'cause
like.
Femmes are always taught to fucking
Yeah.
Exactly, and this
Be
is on
net
my
positive.
list of things to leave in 20
Leave
motherfucking
that
17. It's mammy zoning. Mammy zoning. Because I am a big black
Come on,
femme.
you gotta give me more. What
Because
does that
I'm
mean?
a big okay, so mammy zoning definition is the act of bringing and it's typically a fat black femme, but like any kind of black femme
Shut up.
into your life.
Shut up right now.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
need this.
Uh-huh.
I don't need this.
I'm about to drag you,
I did
bitch.
not sign up for
I'm
this
about to
shit.
drag you, bitch.
Shut the hell up.
You showed up with extra edges because you wanted
about
them
to get
taken.
dragged, okay?
I've
Listen,
had edges since middle school.
motherfuckers bring fat black femmes into their
Come
lives
through.
under the guise of like a mutually beneficial
through.
relationship, situationship, sex, whatever the fuck is gonna be, but then they end up just using that fat black femme for a ton of emotional
Come
labor
through. Come
and then
through.
dumping them in
Come
one
through.
kind of way or another.
Come through.
So we're leaving it.
So
we're
what?
leaving Mammy's
Bring-
on. And I should have left it in
Let me be your
2014.
mammy.
Well, I
Rest
should
your
have left
head
it
on
in
my bosom.
2015. I
Come
should have left that shit in
on.
2016.
Come on.
But here I am in 2017 and I'm making a conscious decision, bitch. I will not be Mammy's owned. It won't happen because these are the same type of motherfuckers who they'll like, you will cook their food. You will like, their lives will revolve around you. You will know their every single situation. You will know all of their friends. You will be able to like diagnose and cure them. Diagnose and cure a nigga.
Emotional growth.
You ever diagnose and cure a nigga? That's hella labor.
Again, my name is Darryl Watson.
But then guess what? They won't hold your hand in public because
or
you're just so big.
They'll take
it looks like
all
you're my
the work
mom.
that you did and then deliver it to somebody else. Shit.
Oh, bitch. Oh,
come through.
Bitch.
Let's touch on these fingertips to fingertips.
Let's touch and
hands,
agree.
palms to palms.
Yes, palms to palms.
Yes.
Let's touch and agree, Darryl. We are leaving being mammy zoned in 20. The motherfuck 17 is not happening again. Okay. Me and this fabulous fat pussy are going to come in and out of niggas' lives, and I'm doing zero emotional labor. Okay,
because you're only responsible for you and your fat pussy.
For me and my fat pussy.
That's it.
Hello.
That's it.
Shit.
You see that meme? It's like it's a meme of this picnic table that's like in splinters, fucked up and broken down.
Yes.
And the tagline is, "This is the table that niggas say that
they want you to bring
something to." Yes.
Yes.
Like you want me to bring a meal to your splinters?
Yes.
And you know what? And they're fine like asking that with a fucking straight face.
They are.
Like the other meme. A vegan will look you in the goddamn face and compare cauliflower to chicken. That's exactly that, though.
I like cauliflower tacos.
That's cute, sis, but call them just that. Don't be like buffalo chicken.
You're right. Call it what it is.
Or 2 Ks or some shit. Chicken.
Call a thing a thing. You know what keeps you from being mammified?
What's that?
Or mammy zoned? A-cups.
Oh yeah. Ain't nobody mammies on you out
I'm
here.
like, can't relate.
You know, listen,
I don't have boobs. It's fine.
Me and these goddamn F cups, okay?
I mean,
all right?
they just look comfortable.
It's no longer happening, thank God, because I have realized my worth. But these past couple of years have been rough.
You know what I wish somebody would do serious research on, and like somebody listening, like take me up on this and like study it, get some funding, and like cut me a check. But like the correlation between like people who mammy zone people and like whether or not they were breastfed.
Ooh.
Like I want to see that research.
So what do you feel like is the relationship between that two? Too much leads to not enough.
I imagine not enough leads to too. Like I imagine like we're innately drawn to being breastfed. Right? I'm drunk. And if we're not...
But I don't see a lie. Because titties is titties. You heard that from my mouth.
And if we're not, then we're like looking for that in adulthood. Like I feel like life is a lifelong quest to being breastfed. And like if you don't get that fed in your like infancy...
that might be valid because like
I think that
I wasn't breastfed and like I'm sometimes looking for like, but I also was abandoned as a child by both parents. So wait, never mind.
I can't stand you. But
that's that moment when your friend tells you something and you don't know the appropriate reaction. So you wait till they mimic the reaction. Like,
and then you're like, that's what I'm doing.
That whole friendship with me is that moment. Also, I'm drunk and
me
like
too.
I mean, I say that shit when I'm sober.
I do wonder about that though. Like sometimes, like you talk about like nature versus nurture, right? And like you look at like siblings who are raised in pretty similar environments, and like one of them is trash and one of them is great. And like oftentimes if you actually like have a conversation with like moms, both kids weren't necessarily breastfed. Or like the breastfeeding experience with the first one was so terrible that they didn't do it with the second. Or the first one they weren't as educated, and then the second they were like, okay, I'm gonna breastfeed this kid. And I just wonder like what the links are. I bet there are links. Somebody go do the research and cut me a check for the idea.
You know what? I think that there's validity to that because a lot of the niggas who have mammy zoned me have had like tumultuous mother relationships.
Right.
Like these are the kinds of niggas. And like I remember you saying on an episode a couple times ago, like all of the men you've never dated a man who has a positive relationship with his father.
Nope. Not one.
I've never dated
to date
a masculine person with a positive relationship with their mother. Ever. And they've all like needed that emotional labor for me so much because it's like I'm big and black and motherly and matronly because I am so big and black. So they're just like, I'm going to take you and fill you in where I'm missing this. But I'm also going to like grapple with this weird idea of wanting to fuck you like on some Freudian shit.
Yes.
So like, honestly, it just be feeling
It's got to
weird.
be related. Also, I've heard amazing things about your fried chicken.
About my fried chicken? Oh my God, my fried chicken tastes so good. I'm wondering who told you that. Was it someone that Mammy's on me? Probably.
Sorry.
My fried chicken's delicious.
I've heard about it.
Let's make that. Let's say 10.
Oh yeah, I'll make you guys a vegan version of my fried chicken.
Yes.
My mac and cheese is bomb too. I can make a vegan version of it.
I'm twerking in my spirit. You should, because our friend Booter, shout out to Booter, is not giving up. Booter's not giving up the recipe.
Yo, you know what though? You know what? That's job security.
It is.
That's job security.
It is.
I'm not even a goddamn vegan, but that shit was bomb.
That mac and no, shout out to the entire Friendsgiving.
We should talk about that.
Friendsgiving.
We had a vegan Friendsgiving.
And it was black.
And it was lit.
And it was seasoned.
Yes.
I'm not even a vegan, and I was eating my ass off.
It was so good.
And I called myself being too cute to not get enough. And you know what's crazy? Rhythm was like, "You got enough," and I should have took that as exactly what it was. Like Rhythm wasn't asking me. Rhythm was letting me know you did not get enough.
I was.
Yes.
So I'm giving you an option now.
I was.
She was giving us an in, and we just didn't
I said,
take
"No, I'm good. I'm good."
I was on some cute shit.
That goddamn next day, I
Y'all was
heated that
being
up.
cute.
I ate the broccoli casserole. I ate the mac and cheese, and I was like, I didn't get enough.
I had plates on plates on plates.
Petty ass
did.
Rhythms
Yeah,
kept
you did.
sending us pictures every time she still had leftovers. Rhythms petty fucking ass.
It's like plate 7.
Leftovers.
Here's another plate.
I
bitch.
did that well.
It's January.
So what do we have? We had everything was vegan. Everything was super well seasoned. We had greens.
Yes.
We had mac and cheese. We had yams.
Yes.
We had broccoli casserole.
Yes.
We
Rice
had
and-
chana over coconut rice.
With
that coconut rice. set
We
me
had
right.
I'm wet. Think about that shit.
we had cranberry sauce.
Yes.
From the can, goat.
Yes.
Fucking
Yes.
goat.
We had liquor.
Yes.
Yes.
We have liquor.
It was the best vegan Friendsgiving ever.
I was so full.
It was so good. And that mac and cheese, Buddha won.
Oh my gosh.
That was the MVP.
Buddha won
Buddha did
everything
that.
forever.
And I
That
tried
mac
to
and cheese was on point.
in our vegan group, I tried to serve him up to give us the recipe. And he hit, I posted about it and I was like, I don't know if he's sharing the recipe, but he put his foot in his mac and cheese and he hit us with a smooth LOL and kept it pushing.
That's why he trash God.
I was like, yes, that's a no.
There will be no recipe today.
It was lit. Daryl's greens. It was so good. That was so good. So anyway, we're not throwing that in the trash.
That's staying.
That's
2018 shit. But you know what the fuck else is on the list? This list that we are throwing in the trash. Trash ass exes and their heterosexual wigs. Okay. So that last part I added myself. That last part I must admit I added myself.
But I feel like that's a part universal too, because I've dated so many men who pretended to be straight.
Yeah. And
Who maintain their heterosexuality even while you're in bed sucking their penis.
But like, have you?
What? Yeah, you're like, you know I'm straight, right? You know I'm straight. And you sitting there, it's
You
like,
think?
yeah. I started, like, as my mouth is on their dick, them sitting there like as if that's their kink. You know I'm straight, right? I like girls. I like girls. I was like, I like girls too.
Right, bitch.
As long as you're convinced.
Is you coming or not?
Right, like, because you're going to come in my mouth regardless. So
praise God. So what I wanted to say, this is my way of saying it without being as ratchet. What I wanted to say is hashtag my belly is a graveyard. But I'm not going to say that because I am reformed.
I feel like you should have saved that for a book title.
I have.
This is Daryl's chapbook.
Selected Poems by Darryl Watson. Just saying.
My belly is a graveyard.
And still I rise.
You don't even have to pay me for that.
Oh my God.
However, that's the thing that I'm putting into the dumpster of 2017 is not getting paid for that. I'm charging for everything.
Yes.
As you should. The fuck?
I'm charging for everything. I'm not running sales anymore on Incense Trap and Yoga. Sorry. It costs what it costs. My business is just like I am. It costs what it costs.
Amen.
Get with it or afford something else.
Can we also leave that in 2017?
Come on.
like
you got it.
Discounting yourself.
Yes!
Oneself.
Yes! All discounts. Let's leave that shit in 20. Let's leave that
All
shit.
discounts are left in
Stop
2017.
discounting yourself.
Look.
Bitch, I got triggered earlier today, and I was just thinking, I was like, this is why like nobody fucking stays with me because I'm so much like I'm always so fucking emotional.
That
like
narrative.
and like I made it up myself, and like I was angry, and then I was like, oh God, I'm so annoying, and like I'm never gonna be in it. And I was like, you know what, bitch? You know the fuck what? If I'm not, then I'm not. Like I'm just
Yes!
not. Like I am who I am.
That's it.
I am no longer gonna it's done.
That's what it is.
It was one day this week, multiple days. One day this week, I woke up having like an anxiety attack. And it was
because we like anxiety attacks in our sleep.
Anxiety attacks are my kink.
Oh God.
No, but I woke up feeling just like extra trash. And I woke up feeling exactly what the hell you just said. Like no one's like, I think, so this week in therapy, we reached a new level, and I've had this therapist for, I feel like 4 years. So we keep finding new levels. Mm-hmm. And so we reached a new level, and I put up warning signs and stop signs and wrong way signs for years to not reach this level.
That's real.
But now my therapist is like, okay, it's time that we knock on this door. And I was like, you know what, ho? Fuck you.
You're right.
That's what it was though. And so we sat there, and this whole week has been a lesson of, it's 3 Black Films. I want to say what I want to say. It's been a lesson on the ways that sex and violence have been intertwined in my life. And how that lends itself to how right now as an adult, I like BDSM. And the ways that the BDSM community can shield survivors because it allows you to experience and really to recycle that trauma, but do it in a way where you feign control. But but generally most of the guys that I've dated themselves have been survivors of trauma, and unknowingly we reenacted their trauma with our sex aesthetic. So it's like this one ex. So yeah, that's it. End of story.
Amen.
Yeah,
Praise the Lord. Keep it moving. Yeah. What's next on the list?
Okay, someone more on the list. Oh my God. But like, I just want to run my mouth a little bit.
Go ahead.
I just feel like on that same note, like leaving. Okay. Another thing to leave in 2018 that wasn't originally on the list, but I feel like deserves to be there. Right.
I just got to correct you because we're not taking it with us.
We can't do that.
You're right. I'm drunk. I also
fine,
don't
we
know.
all are.
I don't know math, but yeah. So is neurotypical partners who think they can fix
level
because
why?
we are the
my
same.
finger in the middle.
Yeah,
you always want to be in the middle.
That's my role.
Rhythms in the middle on the logo. Rhythms in the middle of the time we record.
Hey,
I'm in the middle of the spectrum.
she's in the middle of.
We're gonna talk about it.
I mean,
but yeah, so like neurotypical partners who think that they can fucking fix you and get into a relationship with you with the intention of you changing somehow or you being less of a burden.
And how they don't recognize that behavior as a symptom of their neuroatypicality to begin with.
say that.
Like, let's be real.
I'm about to throw
You're choosing
you.
this because you're not neurotypical, and it's easy for you to pretend that you are
Bitch.
because you are offloading your need to
Yes.
fix onto me because you think I'm your project.
Bitch.
Let's do that.
Bitch.
Let's do that.
Let's talk about
let's
how
talk about it,
the
bitch.
ex that I mentioned who required for both of us to be high to even deal with each other, literally when he broke up with me, said that our relationship was causing his depression.
Oh, no,
Oh
sir.
my God.
What you won't do is blame me for your depression.
What you don't do,
What
bitch.
you won't do is do that.
Sir. Actually,
There we go. Let's get into this.
you were depressed before me.
Hey,
Hello?
hey,
You are still depressed
Hey.
after me.
Hey.
Hello?
and to be real,
Take it up with your neurons.
your relationship
Take it
was
up with your neurons.
hell yes, and then the relationship itself, not all, but in some part, was probably a symptom of that same depression.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Our entire
Come through.
relationship and the entire messy relationship that you had after me, but whatever, is all a symptom of that.
child, that's probably why he can't see the fact that you two didn't like each other, because still denying the fact that it was depression.
Absolutely.
That's
Take it up with
Absolutely.
your motherfucking neurotransmitters, bitch. It's not. I didn't do it. I I don't
own that.
And you can't. And that's something that I learned, I think, this year too. Well, no, I learned this throughout life, is the fact that you got to be responsible for yourself. And it's not about blame. It's not about blame at all. Blame is so kindergarten. It's much more about you owning your goddamn life and just owning, like, we all wear bequeath bags. Let's take it back to episode 4. We were all given bags, and we were taught that it was our job to pick those up.
Right.
So it's not about blaming yourself, especially when you get into your 30s, about carrying these bags. Blame is so rudimentary. It's about recognizing the fact that my goddamn shoulders are hurting because I've been carrying these goddamn bags, and I have the choice now to put them down.
Do something about it.
Exactly. It's not about blame. It's about recognizing that I want a life that is not going to jive with me carrying this nonsense, including dirty ass exes.
Yes, put them all in the dumpster.
Put them all in the dumpster.
And then pour some lighter fluid on that. Set it on fire.
Bitch.
And then
pushing.
there you go.
I'm not a fire sign for no reason, bitch.
But I'm not saying all exes because I still need to preserve my dick access.
Besides the one that you dicking. Okay, besides that one.
I actually have some exes that I'm like cool with. And that is like my preference. But if you're trash, then
honestly,
you're trash.
Here's my whole thing. I have dualities because, like, I have exes that I'm cool with now that, like, I have dragged up and down the street multiple times. They needed to be fucking dragged. And, like, if you need to be dragged at the time, bitch, I'm gonna drag you. But, like, I'm gonna eventually forgive you. And when I do, if we ready to be on some shit, then, like, we can be on some shit. Like, we can be on some friend shit. And, like, I have exes who I'm friends with. But, like... Oh, I dragged those niggas before that happened.
Yeah.
Because they deserve to be dragged.
And if they're actually worthy of friendship, they accept that dragging and then like keep pushing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I deserve that.
Right.
Thank you. And now
I
let's
earned
be
that
friends.
dragging.
Right.
So, even though here at Three Black Femmes, we're not really known to wrap it up. That was a raw sex joke if you didn't get it. This is the end of part 1 of 2017. This is your tape. Join us next time for the continued list of all of the fucking trash things we are throwing away in 2017 to not carry with us into the new year. Okay. In the meantime, you get you some good sex, all right, or not if that's not your thing. Like, drink or not if that's not your thing, or mostly prosper. Stay moisturized
for sure.
Moisturize.
Okay. Bye.